And we are live. We are a bit late. We've been at the Goodwood Festival of Speed today, but we are here for Toronto. We watched the start. We weren't here for the start with you guys, but we have had 4 laps of the Grand Prix of Toronto, the Canadian Grand Prix, the only time we go north of the border of North America in this IndyCar season. We had Christian Lundgaard starting on pole. He managed to avoid any trouble at the start. We had Scott Dixon doing well, but as always, it tends to be on street courses. There was an early collision, and that has brought out an early caution. But Stephen will be with me in a second. Like I said, we've literally just got in through the door, and we're like, we're here. We got there. There's a little bit of traffic kind of getting back from Goodwood, so it was good to represent IndyCar there. I say represent IndyCar there. We weren't there on official business. We were just there representing IndyCar merch and going, we love motorsport and we love IndyCar. But yeah, anyway, we are getting ready to probably come back in this Toronto GP. How's everyone doing? I know obviously we hadn't scheduled a stream. We didn't want to schedule the stream so you guys wouldn't be feeling hard done by when we were turning up late to the stream. But we are here. We're going to be live streaming the rest of the race. I know we've got one person in chat at the moment, so that's good. Good to see you here, and if more kind of go from there. Good to see you, Don. Great to see you. Of course, we were live. We wanted to be live. We'll be live for the kind of double header next week as well. But yeah, it's exciting to see how it's going to go. Interesting. Alex Palou has won 4 out of the last 5 races. He was the guy who was qualifying outside of, the Fast 12. Didn't even make it into phase 2 of qualifying. So it's going to be a very tough task for Alex Palou to win today. He's been so quick, you wouldn't necessarily rule it out from there, but it's a big chance for his championship rivals to kind of capitalize on that today. And Scott Dixon did have a great start. So, he's probably the one, and Will Power, who'll be looking to put pressure. They are the closest to contenders in the championship as it currently stands. And going to be fascinating to see. But hopefully, Stephen's here. Hopefully, we are going to be seeing some IndyCar action go live from there. And Stephen has got snacks. We're going very British. Do you want to talk through the snacks of today, Stephen?
Biscuit. Sausage roll.
Strong. All right, over to you. I'm going to get water.
To my TED Talk.
Nice.
See, I prepared. I
prepared.
I prepared everything. You preferred stream. I prepared beyond the stream.
Beyond the stream.
This season, go beyond the stream.
Yesterday's qualifying was one of the most entertaining sessions since 2004 Cleveland GP. We haven't kind of caught up on highlights of it yet, as we were both Mission Impossible-ing. But it sounded like it was a little bit like Mission Impossible out on track with the kind of wet conditions. For sure. So, it looked like it was complete crazy. And Lundgaard was the one who was able to navigate that the best, which is really impressive. But it did, like we said, offer an opportunity for Alex Palou's championship rivals to capitalize and get claw back some of that massive advantage that he currently has. It's on screen there. 2022 winner Scott Dixon is out there on track.
Alternative strategy going for Alexander Rossi. Getting those green alternatives off right away. Lap 7 onto the black primaries and a front wing change. Because we partially missed the outcome of the Carnage 7-car pole up. But clearly front wing damage for Alexander Rossi. So basically 4-skill alternative. Who's that?
Who is that? Number 14, Santino Ferrucci.
Of course, we have the snake of the pit lane in Toronto. You can really luck out or have a terrible spot. Because if you're ever on the bend, it's quite difficult to hit your mark in the pit box.
I do think that's a great archway to kind of go through
It's very cool.
into it and out onto track. And I think, actually, for the first time in this channel's history, we are live streaming the Toronto GP. The first two were cancelled due to COVID when we were covering the channel. And then last year, I believe I wasn't available. So even though we were at the Festival of Speed today, there was no chance we were going to miss this race and live stream it for you.
No chance.
Absolutely no chance from there. And if you're kind of obviously watching it live, always get involved in the comments as usual. It's great to see you guys in chat. If you are watching this recorded, hope you enjoy the race. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and stuff like that. And as always, we're happy to talk IndyCar with you guys.
Looking forward to this one. What do you think the odds are Christian holding off the pack?
With how Rahal Letman-Lanigan have been during this season so far, I think it's going to be a difficult task for him to kind of keep that up. But if he does manage to kind of... It's a street course, so if there's going to be any race where you can kind of defend a deficit, it's going to be this one. Because, you know, it's a street course, it's tight, it's narrow, it's technical. Overtaking spots are always difficult on street courses. So if he just drives a great defensive line, he can go from there and they nail the pit stops. But as we saw from the last time that Rahal Letman-Lanigan were up at the front row, they messed up the pit stop and that kind of cost them their great position, even though Graham had great pace and things. But it's... My question is, he can? Do I think he will? No. I think it may be a Scott McLaughlin or a Scott Dixon race. I'm going Team Kiwi for this race.
Kiwi.
Great to see you in chat. Alex, by the way, just tuned in. God, can Cossie catch a break? No. Because he has left Andretti to Arrow McLaren, who is a better option. We're definitely seeing the old Alexander Rossi for sure. But I would still say there's kind of like technical faults. What do you reckon in that team in terms of executing the plan?
Executing?
Yeah, executing, engineers for not doing their job right.
Well, I want to know what happened to that Rahal Letman-Lanigan engineer who got the death stare from Bobby.
That's very true. Does he still have a job?
Yeah.
Felix Rosenqvist from Sweden. We're just going to say how he went off in practice too. Bang. But Felix Rosenqvist, do we think he will be in an Arrow McLaren car next year? Unfortunately, for him, I do not think we will see that case. Do I think we'll keep him within the Arrow McLaren roster? Maybe go to like Formula E and stuff? Potentially. It's where he got pulled from by Chip Ganassi, wasn't it? But yeah, will be interesting to see. I think we are finally going to bunch up. This is obviously the frustration of when there is a caution on a street course. It does tend to be long cautions, if not red flags, on the circuit. But I think we are starting to bunch up again. Like we said, Scott Dixon had a fantastic start, I believe, moved himself up into P4 position. If he can do that and get himself right back behind Christian Lundgaard on there, but I'm sure his teammate in front of him, Marcus Ericsson, is going to be very wary of this, who's also a very strong driver on street courses. And Pato, Scott McLaughlin, will have something certainly to say to that. But Palo's closest championship rival, Scott Dixon, is ready. But we are green. Christian Lundgaard leads us to green there. Looks like it's a very good start from him. He's got a good break. No one's really kind of got closer in a position. It's been a really good restart for Christian Lundgaard in terms of there, but everyone kind of spread the field. I don't know if he kind of took the field by surprise or whether they were just kind of wanting to get some clean laps in and hit their fuel numbers, because they preferred to kind of,
Carlton making a move on.
I think it's Roman Grosjean. Yeah, it is. So teammate on teammate in Andretti Autosport. We've seen this go wrong before.
Whoa!
That is Kyle Kirkwood getting past the Arrow McLaren of
Felix
Rosenqvist it was. Will Power didn't have a great start. Started P6, has dropped down to P8 as it currently stands. Let's try and give a quick run through as things stand for you guys. So Christian Lundgaard, our pole sitter, manages to maintain. McLaughlin, who started alongside him on the front row, has remained there. Pato Ward, P3. Ericsson, P4. Scott Dixon, P5. Cole Kirkwood, doing well, moving up into P6. Felix Rosenqvist dropping down a couple positions to P7. Will Power dropping down a couple positions to P8. Chip Ganassi, rookie and other Kiwi driver. So we've got all three Kiwi drivers running in the top 10 currently, because it's Marcus Armstrong in P9. Joseph Newgarden completing all Penske's within the top 10, but they're coming in at P10. Roman Grosjean, P11. Colton Herta clearly went for a move on Roman Grosjean. Didn't work. And Alex Palou, who is so clinical, managed to kind of take advantage of that and go from there. But no, that is not Palou. Palou has...
That is Palou.
That is Palou.
In a wild livery.
Yeah.
He must have overtaken Herta, and Herta's come back on him.
That's good. Palou would have been wanting to make quick progress through this field. I can't see what strategy Palou's on, but I imagine he's probably gone on to the black primaries. Because the further you go back, the more kind of risk you take with your strategy. Stephen. Now Herta's all over the back of Grosjean again. He goes up on the inside. I think he's going to make the move stick. Grosjean's not going to give up this move easy. Question of the late breakers. Grosjean's right there, but Herta makes the move.
Holds it.
Oh, I believe Grosjean looked for the immediate switch back, but it was not there. Now he's going to have Alex Palou lurking in his mirrors.
That would have been a nasty lunge if Grosjean went for it.
Well, that would have been a crash.
Ooh.
That would have been a caution, hands down.
There was contact between Grosjean and Palou.
I think...
I don't think... massive for the championship. Grosjean puts title leader in the wall, almost.
It could have been. I think Grosjean was ahead, had every right to defend. Palou probably turned in. It looked like a little bit aggressive there. They were going tight, wheel-to-wheel racing. Good respect between the two, actually, keeping the cars on track and out of the wall. But when you're racing wheel-to-wheel like that, the margins for error are so small, and those bumps could easily have ended up with one of them into the... wall, and we could have been looking at another caution. Luckily for this race, we carry on, and we've got both drivers still in the race and looking to compete.
Newgarden in the red-black livery dives on the inside of Marcus Ericsson to take P9.
Yeah, Joseph Newgarden, obviously, winner of the Indy 500. He's won his first Indy 500 now, but he has not won a title in this series since 2019. That isn't like a criticism of him, because it's incredibly hard to win the championships with this field being so competitive and with how strong Chip Ganassi have been in this field. But Joseph Newgarden needs to have a really good result today, because Alex Palou is outside the top 10 as it currently stands. We know with Palou that he'll probably negotiate and work his way through the field and maximise a poor result.
Herta on the inside of Armstrong. I say on the inside, he gets the move done before they even get into the corner sequence.
Yeah, quite an easy move thing. And we do know that Colton Herta in particular, Andretti Autosport, he feels really comfortable with their street course setup. You can see that with his teammate Cole Kirkwood being in P6. There's clearly pace in that Andretti Autosport one. Colton Herta in changeable qualifying. Clearly didn't qualify as well as what he would have hoped, but he's going to be working his way through the field. He's now into the top 10, and he looks to be flying out there. He's got Joseph Newgarden in his sights, and rather than Newgarden progressing onto the back of his teammate Will Power, it looks like he's going to have to worry about Colton Herta, because Colton looks like he is absolutely flying out there, maybe the fastest man on track right now. Although, looking at the timing sheets, Christian Lundgaard has given himself a very nice lead, 3.5 seconds, at the front of that field. Although Scott McLaughlin is on the black primary tyre on an alternate strategy. So it is going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Don Davis, do you guys think that F1 team principals are watching Palou today? They should be, if they're not.
Well, they got the weekend off, haven't they?
Yeah. If, I would be surprised if Red Bull aren't looking at him. If they wanted to create a bit of a fierce partnership with Max Verstappen, because Alex Palou should only really go to F1 if he's going to be in a top seat. And
well, if they offer him the Red Bull Academy and put him in AlphaTauri, that should route into a top team.
It is indeed, especially if Max Verstappen goes full on his statement of he's looking to leave the sport in a couple of years as it's not challenging. He wants to be the best in multiple disciplines. He doesn't want to just be the best in Formula One. He's not interested in chasing down Lewis's and Michael's records, even though in this era he could probably do it. Marcus Armstrong, the rookie, really struggling out there. Grosjean's looking to make the move. Armstrong does fight. He's got to be careful here because he looks like, he's going to lose out to his teammate, Alex Palou. Alex Palou, great move there, taking advantage of Armstrong fighting hard against Roman Grosjean there. He saw an opportunity, and on street circuits, you don't get many, so you've got to go for it. There's always going to be an element of risk to these overtakes on these kind of tight, winding street courses. But looks like we've seen that. Don Davis saying that the green tyre looks like it's falling away quickly, and it had gone for Marcus Armstrong for sure. Stephen.
But he's done his stint now. That's the rough stint. Yeah, he dropped quite a lot of positions, but at least it's out of the way. A lot of these guys on the black primaries will have to do that dodgy stint on the alternatives. Well, you just got to hope. You just got to hope and pray you can look after those tyres as long as possible. But Christian Lundgaard, did we say Christian Lundgaard started on the green alternatives?
Yep.
And he's doing a good job because Scotty Max not being able to close this gap at the front at all. It's just been extended by the young Dane. Leading Rahal, Lenneman, Lanigan's return to the top.
We did say that, potentially, you asked me, would Christian Lundgaard be able to hold on to this lead? I thought it may be through some defensive driving and not going through there. We do have someone in pit row. It looks like it's Felix Rosenqvist. He has taken off those green tyres. It looks like the black primary tyre is going to be the race tyre again. And he is out. It looks a good, clean pit stop from Aaron McLaren there. We've also got Malukas coming into pit row. Little bit of struggle on that front tyre. I think it was a little bit of a slow pit stop there for David Malukas, who has gone a little bit quiet in recent races, has to be said.
All season, there's been a struggle of him and Dale Coyne, to the point that he has literally said, I ain't racing for you next year, because he's just got a bit fed up with how the team's performed. Which is fair enough, because Malukas is a quality talent and deserves to be in a team that can challenge for top fives, podiums, and wins. But where the seat's going to open up, who knows? Chip?
Plenty of debate on that one with Alex Palou, where he's going to go after this season. You would think he would stay with the team, but you never know. But we are in pit row again, and it is Carl Kirkwood, and also it looks like Joseph Newgarden there in pit row. That Team Penske number 2 car pit crew are always great in pit row. They always look like they're going to make up spots. Where's this? So Carl Kirkwood comes out. He's still ahead.
Just ahead of Felix. Was that Rossi?
I think that is Alexander Rossi, which is maybe...
I was like, that's crazy from Felix.
That is maybe saying that the undercut is going to be more powerful than the overcut here, for sure. Any news about the weather in Toronto? Rain would be fun. I don't know any news about Toronto, but what I can see from my screens looks beautiful, clear skies, and I don't think we're going to get any rain today.
Clouds! And as leader, Christian Lundgaard has had enough of those green alternatives. pits for the black primaries.
Oh, it's another poor pit stop from Rahul Letman-Lanigan. This time it is the front left for the team. How costly is that going to prove to be? Looks like Cole Kirkwood's already... No. Sorry, that's a Marshank driver.
That's
Oh,
Elio.
jeez. Ignore me, but I would think it's going to be really interesting to see where Scott McLaughlin, Pato Ward and Ericsson do. But, yeah, McLaughlin's going to stay out stronger. He's on the black primary. Was Ward on the green tyres? I know Ericsson was also on the black primary tyres. Dixon and Power are both yet to pit as well. Where's it going to go? Hello, Polo! Great to see you, Big C Burger in chat. Good from there. Okay, then Lundgaard has to win in the drive. He has to. He has to. Surely.
Pato pits as he was on the green alternatives. Alternative runners all coming in now. Switching on to the black primary race tyre. Survives longer.
Looked a pretty slick stop, actually, from Aaron McLaren there.
Where will Pato come out? Behind. Way behind Lundgaard. Interesting.
We were saying that the undercut was looking stronger, and he is also behind teammate Alexander Rossi. He has managed to stay out ahead of Cole Kirkwood. But also remember, Rossi is on an alternate strategy. So that isn't necessary for position there. So he has still come out ahead of Kirkwood.
But did Lundgaard have a bad stop?
Oh, I thought Lundgaard was having a bad stop, but
I think he had a pretty decent stop.
He must have had a great stop by how this is going. How is Tom Blomqvist doing? He is out the race.
Got taken out on the first lap.
Yeah.
I think Harvey kind of caused a chain of events.
Yeah, I think so.
Right and saying.
But we had, quite a few ones out in that first lap incident. And Rossi was a lap down, got involved in that incident as well with some wing damage. But yeah.
Oh, that's a nasty bump.
That's what you get from street circuits. You ride it. It is an aggressive, it is a physical, strenuous effort to kind of keep this car out of the wall. The margins are so kind of thin. You cannot make mistakes here. And also the road surfaces tend to be rough and abrasive because they are not smooth racetracks. They are the standard roads that you and I drive on. And if the Canadian roads are anything like the British roads, then that must be horrible to drive on. Well, that's a bummer. First race couldn't even make it through one. I know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily his fault in terms of on that one. But good to see 4 of you in chat and 4 thumbs up. That is 100% thumbs up to viewer ratio at the moment. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Great stuff. But we are lap 23 of 85 in this Grand Prix of Toronto. So the first pit window has opened. It's going to be interesting to see where it is. I think we've got Kevin Lee there talking to, I think it's Tom Blomqvist.
Yeah, it is.
Just talking about that frustration not being able to get through lap 1. It's tough because opportunities don't necessarily come up too often, and it's something that's not really your fault. There, he's kind of been pinned into the wall by, who was that? Ryan Hunter-Reay pinned him into the wall. Experienced guy as well. It is a bummer.
No, but I think Ryan Hunter-Reay got squeezed by Harvey.
It was a kind of knock-on effect with things, but unfortunately for Tom, he was an innocent bystander in that one, and there wasn't really much to do. And that is, when you see those on road courses, you basically just run wide, and it doesn't really kind of affect too much. You may lose a couple positions, but you're still in the race. If that happens in a street circuit, usually means game over.
Game over.
Game over.
As we sit on board with race leader Scott McLaughlin.
Now, Scott McLaughlin was talking, obviously being on the alternate strategy to Christian Lundgaard. Very rarely do kind of Team Penske get strategy wrong. So them starting on the black primary tyre for Scott McLaughlin, you've got to say that, he's the highest qualifier there. Therefore, he probably gets the preferred strategy within the team. And we have seen it time and time again from Scott McLaughlin. Once he gets in positions where he's leading, he is a very difficult man to then get past. Obviously, he won. Where did he win? It was at Barber earlier this season, wasn't it? When he was fighting for the lead with Roman Grosjean. He could have easily won in St. Petersburg, but unfortunately locked up, fighting for position with Roman Grosjean, going into the corner. Both fought hard doing it, but unfortunately that lockup sent both Grosjean and McLaughlin out of the race. Not probably the season that McLaughlin was hoping so far. He definitely was hoping to kick on from a very good sophomore season, but could he win this race today? He's in the right team. He's fantastic leading races. He would be a very good bet. Like I said, my bets are with the kind of Kiwis as it currently stands. And just as we say that, I'm pretty sure IndyCar are doing a little kind of feature on Scott McLaughlin, just talking about probably how good he is when he's out front in races. But yeah, Stephen, who's your bet on for the race?
I'm still feeling Christian. I'm going to back him.
Good for you.
When was the last time Ray Lanigan won a race? Was it the 500? With Dakuma?
I think so.
To be fair, it's a pretty decent last race to win.
Yeah.
But they would love to change that today. Grabbing another victory. It's been a while. Been a couple. Where did Dakuma win? A couple seasons?
Yeah. Well, it would be the Indy 500.
Yeah. So
that was the last one. So that was 2021.
2 seasons.
No, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ericsson won 2021.
Yeah, so it's been 3 seasons.
Wait.
So you got 2020, 2021, and 2022, and now we're in 2023. So it's been 3 seasons since they've won.
Eddie Castroneves won 2021. Yes.
Yeah.
Ericsson won 2022. Whoa, we got there in the end. Dakuma 2020. So yeah, first win in 3 years. They'd love to change it. Currently, gap is 15 seconds. So I presume, I'm not sure about the pit stop times, but I presume that would be enough for Christian to retake the lead when Scotty Mack comes into the pit lane. Pit road.
Pit road, indeed. And Big C Burger, Scotty Mack is really showing out this year. Unfortunately, Joe New had kind of fallen off. I think Newgarden put a lot of effort into the 500 this year, and emotionally, that's a lot to win that race, and all the kind of stuff that comes with winning the Indy 500. I think it takes a lot of toll. And also, Newgarden has been performing at such a high standard ever since he joined Team Penske in 2017 that it's no surprise that at some point he was going to have an off season, and he's still performing well. He's still up there and being competitive in races. But by Joseph Newgarden's high standards, I would say this is kind of a bit of an off season so far.
For sure.
Don, we weren't wearing Indy Fanatics t-shirts because we were at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. But while we were at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, I was representing Team IndyCar. So there you go. I'll wear my IndyCar hat just so you guys can have a little bit of IndyCar merch as we go. But yeah. And we were the only ones. We did see a Team Penske bag, but we thought that was maybe NASCAR related because we saw some NASCARs today, which made us kind of, as well as IndyCar. That's the when. Well, actually, sorry, I'll go back to that because we've got Christian Lundgaard looking to get round Rinus VeeKay, and he hasn't been able to get round Rinus VeeKay as a kind of backmark. I presume that was VeeKay came out of the pits in an awkward position. For Christian Lundgaard. Lundgaard obviously is on the tyres with temperature, wanted to take advantage because he didn't want to get stuck behind, obviously, a back marker. He's going to try and...
I doubt VeeKay came out of the pits. Sure, this just isn't VeeKay working his way through traffic after his pit stop.
I think, you're right. Lundgaard's making his way through traffic. Absolutely, I think it is. So, obviously, he's going to have a tyre advantage because I don't think Rinus VeeKay has pitted yet. But Lundgaard cannot afford to get caught up in this battle and lose a load of time here. Also for kind of losing life in those tyres because you've got Scott McLaughlin out in front in clean air. And as we say that, we've got Alex Palou fighting with Roman Grosjean, both on the black primary tyres. We've seen Grosjean going wheel to wheel with several drivers through there, including Palou earlier in the race, and managed to keep him behind this time. But Palou is eager. He is a man with a strong grip on this championship, and he doesn't want to give any hope to his rivals. He is all over the back of Roman Grosjean here, but Grosjean is fighting tooth and nail. He is not giving in here at all. To the French, well, he's not giving in to the Spaniard, the Frenchman. But yeah, lap 30 of 85. I will give a run through of the top 15 once this pit sequence is complete and we have a kind of a completion of where everyone stands. But considering that we've still got, a good 8 cars in the top 10 who are yet to pit, well, I guess VK's kind of not too relevant, but, from Palou upwards to McLaughlin, they're all pretty relevant in there. This is massively hampering. Oh, and here he goes. Palou sends it up the inside, and that is a great move. That is a championship winner right there on your screens. He is driving with so much confidence at the moment. It's just, he is in complete harmony with that car. Every racetrack he goes to, he seems to know the balance of that car absolutely perfect. And you do need to know the balance of your car absolutely perfect there to just throw that up the inside and have complete confidence, because he got loose coming out the corner.
Sideways. And it just worked in his favour because they put him in the right trajectory to send it on the inside and still make the corner.
Absolutely. Wow. And now he's dropping Roman Grosjean there and has the sights of Grosjean's teammate Colton Herta, who was looking very quick early doors, but progress seems to have halted there for them. Palou, he's won with his machine. Yeah, what a pass. Absolutely was a fantastic pass on track. And now we've got Andretti teammate Carl Kirkwood. You've just seen Roman Grosjean lose out on positions. Carl Kirkwood is making his way through the field. It looks like that's Felix Rosenqvist also trying to get past Graham Rahal there. And there is Joseph Newgarden. And remembering, these guys have pitted. They are on fresh primary tyres. They will be looking to get past Graham Rahal and Felix Rosenqvist very quickly. They clearly have superior pace there. Carl Kirkwood has done a good job with his there. But look, off the leader. He's, because of this traffic, he is 10 seconds off the leader. He's desperately probably needing that. In the meantime, it hasn't been shown, but Lundgaard did manage to get past Rinus VK. So that is a big move for Christian Lundgaard on track. McLaughlin has seemed to have dropped Ericsson and Dixon at the moment. Laps since last pit. There we go. So it's 31. So yeah, we are getting into that pit window, I'm sure, for those front runners to go. And the good thing is, after that kind of first lap incident, we have had a lot of green laps here. We've had some good hard racing. We've got alternate strategies kind of playing out. You are looking at someone like an Alexander Rossi is desperately going to need cautions to kind of make his alternative strategy work. But yeah, interesting to see those. Quite a lot of people went with the primaries first out, but they're going to have to ride the stick of greens at some point. Is it going to be Grosjean? Looks like Grosjean might go onto the stick of greens here. He was really struggling at the back end of that stint. Yeah, he is going onto the greens tyres, so he's going to look to get that green tyre stint out the way. Looks like a couple of wing adjustments on the front wing there. Pretty clean stop from Andretti Autosport. What can Roman Grosjean do in this stint? Never kind of, I would say, been his too much of a strength. Street courses, Roman Grosjean, and that's probably what's struggling him. Well, first of all, not converting into wins, but also from being a serious championship contender, you've got to be strong on all three formats.
Roman Grosjean on street circuits has an inevitability of him and the wall coming together.
Heard it here first, guys.
I don't want to put the blame on either Grosjean or the wall, but they just always find each other.
They're a match made in heaven in street circuits. I'm interested to see how Rogro will do the rest of the season. I've read that Andretti hasn't approached him with a contract extension yet. I mean, he is literally driving for his future in this series. Because I think if he loses out on the Andretti Autosport, I think he will go and pursue WEC, which should be interesting. And actually, I think it will be a massive credit to IndyCar as a series if Roman Grosjean, obviously came in with a lot of hype. He did fantastic in that rookie season with Dale Coyne Racing, but hasn't really been able to recapture the magic of that season. If he fails to deliver with Andretti Autosport, it shows just how highly talented these IndyCar drivers are, because a lot of people thought that, they made comments as soon as he got that pole position with Dale Coyne Racing that the level of IndyCar wasn't good enough because, or was a lower quality because someone like Roman Grosjean, who was at the lower end of the field in Formula One, was able to go in and compete straight away and not one of the big teams. And it's been quite clear to see that hasn't been the case.
On the inside of Rossi. Nice little move there from Joseph.
I always said, all these moves, you've got to take risks on street circuits to do it. But looks like he got past Alexander Rossi, or was that Felix Rosenqvist through there? But it was one of the Aaron McLaren drivers. Scott Dixon is getting very close to his teammate Marcus Ericsson as they approach their pit windows. Last year's winner, Scott Dixon, Alex Palou's closest rival in the championship. Realistically, Dixon needs to win here because, Palou is recovering well for sure. He is still looking quick, but he didn't have a great qualifying. He's got to capitalise. But race leader.
Back in the pits. Lundgaard takes the lead. There's going to be some way. The overcut has worked perfectly, and Scotty Mack is going onto the weakest tyre.
At the moment, it is looking with the power of that undercut. It's going to be interesting to see where these pit windows out. Obviously, you've got McLaughlin with much fresher tyres, and he is straight behind Lundgaard. So that 5 seconds he's got, he's on the quicker compound and he's got tyres. When did Lundgaard pit? Around about lap 23.
Pressure here with his warmed up tyres. It's going to be huge. Can Pato make a move? He's got to use his push to pass.
Pato's got to make a move now because McLaughlin will go. Look,
those tyres aren't there.
But I don't think he's close enough. But we see now Christian Ericsson, that's a footballer. Marcus Ericsson out on track. He's going to come onto the green stint tyres. Scott Dixon and Alex Palou and Will Power stay out. They are going deep. So I'm thinking, are they going really deep and trying to make this,
a one-stop?
They can't make it a one-stopper, but they can make it a two-stopper with as short a stint as possible on those green tyres, so they can go hell for leather. They won't have to worry about fuel. They can go hell for leather on those greens, and as soon as they drop, bang, they can get in the pits. So completely maximise that stint to its advantage. Those alternates seem to get heat in them very fast. They do indeed. He's on the driver for Lambo LMDH. Is he indeed? Is he indeed? Grosjean? I presume that's Roman Grosjean as it came after the chat. Thanks for that, Big C Burger. Good to see. Thumbs up.
Dixon, Power, and
Palou. It is the last ones of the main front runners have come in. It's going to be a race on pit row. Obviously, Scott Dixon is leading this as it currently stands. Where's it going to go? It wasn't the cleanest of kind of entries through there. Not a cleanest entry. Like you said, it's on the bend. It's not an easy one. It looks, Will Power's going to get out on pit row here. Will Power gets out ahead of Scott Dixon, and Alex Palou is nowhere on those ones. Where are they going to come out in relation to the rest of the group? So that is Will Power is behind teammate Joseph Newgarden and Scott Dixon. And that is Felix Rosenqvist is ahead of Alex Palou. Alex Palou goes on the inside though, but Rosenqvist should have the tyre advantage. Rosenqvist should have the tyre advantage to come back here. Will Power is going on his teammate. Joseph Newgarden has the quicker compound. Wow, those alternates, you're right, do seem to be getting up temperature quick. Scott Dixon trying to make that position. He went bold. Had to back out the move. Otherwise, he was going to lose his front wing of the car there. This is a great little pack. These are guys who will be hunting down Alex Palou. And Alex Palou will be loving seeing this right in front of him on the racetrack, because he's going to be going, as long as these guys fight, brings me into it, and I can get ahead of maybe a couple.
Go?
I don't know. He's just dropped. I mean, this is what we see from Felix Rosenqvist consistently. He is a brilliant qualifier, but when it comes to race pace, he just isn't consistently putting that Arrow McLaren car where it needs to be.
Jeez, he's 3 seconds off.
And I don't know what is happening with Alex Palou. We said he is one with his machine, but he is all over the back of his teammate, Scott Dixon. We've already seen a fantastic overtake on Roman Grosjean, but I can guarantee you against Scott Dixon, it is not going to be as easy as that, because he realizes every race now, if Scott Dixon wants to win this championship, he has to finish in front of Alex Palou. Realistically, he has to win 2 or 3 races at least.
Get a replay of Felix. Does he just go too deep? Too deep? Then loses it.
The mad thing is that Felix Rosenqvist, he had the tyre temperatures. Yes, he had the slower primary tyre, but he had the tyres that were already there. Alex Palou was coming with cold tyres, but I just don't... He's just found temperature in them straight away. It looks like more his... experienced teammate, Scott Dixon, who is struggling with there. Right, so we can probably give a run through of the top 15 now, as that is the last of the pit windows to do it. But bear in mind, I think you're going to be watching Power, Dixon and Palou later on in this race. They went very deep on that first stint. Looks like someone, are they going to finally retire Devlin DiFrancesco from this race? He's been in the pit for a long time. I think they finally retired him. But yes, run through of the order as we're lap 40 of 85. So almost halfway through this race here in Toronto. Christian Lundgaard, our pole sitter, still P1. 6-second advantage over Scott McLaughlin. He is driving an absolutely brilliant race so far and is looking very good for his first win in the series. And he has been absolutely fantastic since joining this series, even from his trial runs where he performed well, qualifying, in the top 4, I think, at the Indy Road course with Rahal Letman-Lanigan when he was on trial. It was enough to win him the seat, and he has not, made Rahal Letman-Lanigan regret that decision. He's been brilliant. Scott McLaughlin, P2. Pato Ward, P3. So that front 3 stay the same. Cole Kirkwood is having a fantastic race. He is up into P4 and did well in that last pit stint. Marcus Ericsson, pitted slightly before Power, Dixon and Palou, and has done well because he just managed to kind of keep himself ahead of Joseph Newgarden. Newgarden progressed well, started outside the top 10, now moving into a top 6 position. Again, like we said, these guys, Newgarden, Power, Dixon, closest to Palou in the championship, they are going to have to win races. You're looking at these. Pato O'Ward is going, I've got to find a way to win this race because Palou is 9th as it stands, and these are big points that I've got to win. He's got laps since his last pit. So you are looking at probably Lundgaard and Pato 10 laps away from the next. Oh my God.
And it's happened again.
Oh my God.
The dream team, Grosjean and the wall. They just can't be separated on the streets of any city that Indycar visit. They just love each other that much. And it's a magical, special moment between the two as once again they meet today in Toronto, a different country. It doesn't matter. He can still find the wall. And the wall will still find him.
Are we witnessing the end of Roman Grosjean's Andretti Autosport career? Because, it has been a season. Oh my God, that safety car did not, that was a difficult kind of pull up for sure. And as usual, it is just, he has misjudged it big time.
God.
It is a sad end to his, I want to say, single-seater career. Because I can't, maybe another team, maybe Dale Coyne take him back if he wants to stay in this series with, obviously, who's going out the door.
But look how much
Malukas.
Lucas is struggling in that seat.
Yeah, but Grosjean, it depends whether he wants to stay in this series. But he's not going to be picked up by Penske. He's not going to be picked up by Ganassi. Andretti was the next best thing. They are the third best team on this grid. Go from there. He said the wheel slipped out of his hands.
Well, it did look like he just didn't turn and then locked up in a panic to try to stop.
We said the margin for error is so slim in this form of racing. Street courses is the most technically difficult racing circuits in the world just because of how tight and every kind of mistake is punished with the end of your race. We'd managed to kind of
so much though with this one guy.
Yeah.
We have a field of 27 drivers. And not any of them have the consistency that Grosjean has with finding the wall.
Yeah.
They're all in the same conditions, all in basically the same cars. Yes, some handle a bit better because there's a more fine-tuned of dampeners and strategy and setups. But they're all basically in the same position. And he's the only one that does this all the time.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. You're running
good enough.
You're running out of excuses for Grosjean, and he's in a privileged years. I know Andretti, like we've said, since the Aeroscreen era, have not delivered what they should do in their series. But you look at Kyle Kirkwood, you look at Colton Herta, and this season they are consistently outperforming Grosjean. He had a great start to the season. He's always, I would say, been quite an emotional driver, wears his heart on the sleeve, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It can be a very good thing because, when it's all working out for him, it just puts him in the zone. But if it doesn't work out, I think the lows get on top of him and it turns into a spiral and crisis of confidence. I know we've seen from Drive to Survive, we've seen that happen to him before in terms of the F1 scene and circuit through there, and it may be what we're witnessing in front of Indycar here. We're probably going to be looking at the next, we're probably not going to go green until
50?
Lap 50. The question is, when the pit window reopens, those guys who it probably is going to lead into the pit window for the guys on primaries, 35 laps. It would be a push. But does everyone pit? Is it a reset? Well, we're having a look. Yep, everyone is pitting. Kirkwood's in. Palou is coming off. He is getting rid of those greens as quickly as possible. He realizes the black primary is there. I was going to debate this. They have decided that they're going to go for it. But the 45 out of 85, 40 laps, I feel that's too long. I feel that is too long. Palou's got out ahead of Herta again. Oh dear, Rahal Letman-Lanigan, they are having a poor pit stop there. Don't think he'll be in the 28 next year.
Don't tell me it's Lundgaard.
Feel like, no, it was Rahal.
Oh, thank God.
I feel a lot of people felt bad for him from the fiery crash, but forgot he is crash prone. Yes and no. Yes and no. I think he genuinely deserved merit in his first season in IndyCar. There were a lot of questions in his driving last year. I think he started off fantastic, and I don't necessarily think some of the errors were his fault. And, he's pushing on the limit to win races. But I think, like I said, I think it's more he's an emotional driver. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And when things go wrong for Romain Grosjean, they go very wrong. They will be fuel saving at the end of the race. Very interesting here. We are going to still see alternate strategies play out in front of us.
I'm thinking this could be it.
It could be.
Do you think some people could try to get it? Oh, we're in. We're going green. That was a short caution. What the hell?
That was a very short caution. They've left that wall damaged. Yeah, I'm surprised it was that, which makes it very interesting. I think maybe those people who pitted That may be a costly. Oh no, Kyle! Is that no? That's Elio Castro Neves. Caution! Oh, but this should be another quick cleanup. But question is now, those people who did not pit. Oh, he's got the car going. He's got the car going. Okay. Oh, don't. Jeez, Elio. Jeez.
Okay, so who pitted and who didn't pit?
So we had Alex Palou pit, we had Colton Herter pit, we had Carl Kirkwood pit.
So not everyone.
No.
Interesting.
Lundgaard, McLaughlin, Award, Ericsson, Newgard and Power, Dixon, Armstrong, VK, all did not pit.
So only a few of them will be trying the non-stop.
Absolutely. AM, fish and chips. Are you just going to shout loads of kind of traditional English dishes?
Fish and chips.
In that case, pie and mash.
Sausage and mash.
No, we've already had bangers and mash. We've had fish and chips. Chicken tikka, I guess, because it's not traditional in Indian. It's just kind of like a traditional takeaway in the UK. This will be an odd strategic race. Sort it out, Stephen. Come on, Stephen. Don has requested you sort this out.
Sort it out? Okay. I'm just off to Toronto. See you in a bit, guys. Wait, but we haven't got the boat. What was the boat? 20 likes?
Yeah, the boat is 20 likes. We have not got a boat.
10 likes away from a boat to Toronto.
10 doesn't even get us a shed. No sheds here.
You went to sheds?
Yeah, I went to sheds.
The like system was based on modes of transport.
Oh, that's a big one. That is a big one. Alex Palou was involved in avoiding that, and I think he made contact with the wall. Interesting to see how much damage is done with Alex Palou there. I think he just lost it for sure. There was heavy braking. Did someone get... Oh, okay. Kirkwood's shunted up there, and then Palou had to take evasive action. Let's see. Here we go. Palou takes evasive action, hits the wall. How big is that impact? It wasn't fast, but has that affected the suspension of Alex Palou? He was lightning quick out there, already on an alternate strategy. The caution is playing more into their hands of going in for the early pit stops, but as soon as that pit window opens now, it does leave the opportunity for everyone else to pit.
They've had to retire Elio's car. They could not get restarted. Interesting.
Kirkwood had a broken half shaft. Palou lost a lot of spots there. He did indeed. Yeah, this is a little bit of carnage, chaos.
Surely you got a pit now, right?
Interesting. We were saying last time out, Palou's championship contenders are going to need some element of luck. We're looking at that front wing. I don't think there's any damage. IndyCars are pretty robust, but has that affected? It looks to me maybe the camber's slightly affected on that front right. I may be wrong. I don't know if it's got slightly more tilt in, but yeah, if Alex Palou did manage to avoid any kind of serious damage from that, that is a big relief for him. But obviously, penalty for Kirkwood probably. They are pretty harsh on that one, which is a shame because Kirkwood again is running another fantastic race, and the Andretti curse continues for anyone who sits in that car.
This does support Palou's no stop.
There we go. No. Alex Palou will be coming in for a front wing. They are looking at a front.
Are they just looking at it?
I don't know.
Checking.
I think if they're all showing that front wing, to me, that means that Alex Palou will be coming in for a new front wing. If I was him, exactly. If I was him, I'd stay out.
Because this second caution helps the no more stops.
It does.
It's still going to be tight, but jeez.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would imagine Alex Palou, with street courses, if that was out on a road course, he'd be in. He'd be pitting. But obviously, if it was on a road course, he wouldn't be going into a wall that's just avoiding action there. But say he had the similar sort of damage on a road course.
No one pits?
No one pits. Looks like we go through pit row. I think we then must be bunching up, getting ready
Where
to
is
go
it?
for green.
Pit lane's still closed.
Yeah, there we go. Still closed. So, okay, that means we've got a couple more laps under caution. We had a pretty clean race up until then, but as is the age-old saying in motor racing, cautions breed cautions. And
Is that Colton Herta's child? Kind of has the look of Colton Herta.
it does indeed, but
That is not Colton Herta's
that
child.
is not. Isn't it the owner?
The kid.
No. Who was Brian Herta Motorsport partnered with? He was with like a young millionaire inherited from his dad, I'm pretty sure. That's Colton's kid brother. It's Colton's kid brother.
Kid's brother. Oh, kid. His brother.
Yes.
So Brian Herta's son.
Yes.
Ah.
And looks like he's talking to Carl Kirkwood today. Look at those marbles on the track. Scotty Mack stays out. Is interesting. Okay, all right. So that means that probably
do you think it was sabotage? Just started screaming at Kirkwood. La 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 la! Yes, he crashed. Yes, come on, Colton.
Team C. Team C.
Oh,
Okay.
the pay-do pit.
Scotty Mack decides to stay out. That is a big call. Big call. Everyone else has decided to pit.
Scotty Mack's on the greens, right?
No, Dixon stayed out as well. Dixon and McLaughlin stay out. And yes, they are on the greens. You are right. So I was thinking that they would desperately look to get it off, but I'm guessing even more so. But they're going to have to go, whoa! Pit row is carnage there. That's great Rahal. Lundgaard's out of front of O'Ward. Ericsson looks like it stays the same. And just about stays out ahead of Joseph Newgarden. But whoa, the race in pit row there got dicey for sure. Interesting now. We have McLaughlin, Dixon, and VK who have not pitted. Kirkwood, Herta, and Palou who pitted on the first caution here. And then we have Lundgaard, O'Ward, Ericsson, Power, who pitted on the third round pit stops. I think Armstrong isn't in there.
For Scotty Mack and Penske.
Bad pit row for Joseph Newgarden as well, it looks like, as he's behind Armstrong, Canapino, and Rosenqvist.
35 laps is not even that much of a stretch on fuel, and especially on these black primaries.
No.
A risky call.
I would say that the Kirkwood, Hertas, and Palous are in a bit of trouble. One, because Kirkwood might get a penalty. But two, I think that strategy may not work out, which will be interesting to see. If there's anyone who's going to make it work, it's going to be Alex Palou, because he seems to be whatever strategy on makes work. But I think Lundgaard is still looking strong here. McLaughlin, Dixon. Dixon's gone with a bold call. McLaughlin's gone for a bold call because he's going for wins. But yeah, it is interesting.
Do we believe in the Kiwis?
Oh my God, start the race. It was just one car that barely crashed. I know. It is crazy. They told Scotty Mack to hit some qualifying laps. Absolutely. He's got to.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
They've got to believe that they've got a lot of pace in that green tyre, but that green tyre is just going to go off.
He's going to have to make a green flag pit stop. Whereas everyone else has made a caution pit stop. It's not going to be enough.
Thank you, AM. Full English breakfast. That's another good one in there. Perhaps they should have cleaned the track during this yellow. What's up, lads? Great to see you, Bruce. Great to see you in chat. Great to see so many people liking the thumbs up on the stream as well. Reminder, we'll be live with both races next week in Iowa for the double header. Good to get back to oval racing next week as well.
I've missed it.
Yeah, do love oval racing. This IndyCar calendar does miss more oval races.
Especially the short oval of Iowa. Never fails.
And especially with how dominant Alex Palou has been, we need more ovals to spice things up.
As we go to green, Scotty Mack leads the pack. qualifying laps was ordered. He's going to need some if he's going to have any chance here.
He's going to need a great restart there. Scott Dixon
Holds
is
it,
looking.
holds it,
Oh, okay,
launch.
that's a good. That was a good restart. Is it actually? Is it? No, it looks like it's a good start. He's got a good clean breakaway from Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon's trying to break any sort of draft for Renus VK in there behind.
Whoa.
And who's that making a move? Alex Palou. Alex Palou on Colton Herden makes the move. Alex Palou. And is he going to make the move on Cole Kirkwood? He is now the leading one. Cole Kirkwood drops back massively.
Lundgaard holds. It looks like Palou.
But Lundgaard has got past. Kirkwood is dropping like a lead balloon. I don't know. Is there an issue? We did say there was something from there.
Can't make it. Oh, tagged by Marcus Ericsson.
Christian Lundgaard had contact there with Herter. Is that going to leave him vulnerable to Pato? Will Power then getting past Marcus Ericsson. Joseph Newgarden's made a great start on the restart there, I think it is. Everyone's coming through. Whoa! Kirkwood is struggling. I think he has got a broken, what was it, a drive shaft that he's got? Whatever he's got, he needs to retire that car because he cannot hold on to this car. His car is gone. He's in the pits and he is out of there. That could have easily been another caution. But yeah, that has made things tasty for sure. Alex Palou moves up into P4.
I will say Palou's front wing does look very wobbly. Whether that's affecting the performance too much, I don't know, but it looks very wobbly.
If anything, it just brings Alex Palou onto a more even playing field with the rest of his competitors with how he's been performing this year. It looks like you've got some traffic there. I think that's Alexander Rossi. Lundgaard's trying to get past Colton Herter here. Like we said, Will Power. Oh, Will Power gets squirrely. Is that going to leave a chance for Marcus Ericsson to take the move?
Lundgaard on Herter. Lundgaard is now directly behind Alex Palou. As, of course, Palou is technically leading this race because the front three in front of him still have to pit.
And he has got fresher tyres and also about 4 or 5 laps, more fuel. We've seen earlier in the season that those sort of kind of differences in fuel can make a big difference in these races. But yeah, Alex Palou, if there is any man who can make this strategy work, it is Alex Palou that I have there. Kirkwood had to stop and go penalty. Well, had a stop and go penalty, but also whatever was happening to his car was falling off the rails. Are they going to try and make it to the end on the alternatives for Scotty Mack? Absolutely, I think they are. Scott Dixon and McLaughlin have gone. They've dropped VK. I wonder if they will work together because it is in both their hands that they need to push each other to make this strategy work. Dixon and McLaughlin need green laps because if there's a caution, they're out.
Yes, I think they're stuffed either way, but yeah, let's say the caution is probably more stuffed than just green laps.
Well, the positive is if they can get a 10-second advantage here over the likes of Palou, Lundgaard, maybe even 15 seconds type of advantage, they are going to be massively. They've got 30 laps if they go on primary tyres. We know how easily that kind of primary tyre makes that. So they can go hell for leather. So, yeah, Dixon and McLaughlin, this is really interesting. This is what makes it interesting with well-timed cautions and, a lot of green laps. You get different strategies play out, different kind of tyre compounds on the cars at different stages, and you don't know how this is going to play out. Again, we've had a few races where Alex Palou, our man, has kind of made the races not boring, so to speak, but his efficiency has been incredible. Yeah, you can really see that kind of front wing rattling, and I think you see it dislodged there.
Yeah.
But with his, indifferent qualifying performance in challenging conditions yesterday, it is really spiced this race up, and this is what we've come to expect.
Ain't going to survive, though, is it?
I don't know.
That could cause a puncture on his front right.
It is a difficult one. It is a difficult one, pushing it to the extreme.
That's going to start scraping the floor.
Common Andretti L. Absolutely, Alex the Heart. Good to see you in chat as well. Pallou's front wing is floppy. Will he get a black flag?
It's getting bad and bad.
Oh, that is worse. That is
Yeah.
worse. That is tilted. Palou will need to pit here. This is a big one for the championship. Big one for the championship, because if Alex Palou has to pit here, he is going way back. Yes, he can go hell for leather on it, but it is not a quick pit stop having that wing change. That basically takes him out of a top 10 finish today, I would say, for sure. Kirkwood has to redo his stop and go. They served the car during the first one, so it didn't count as him serving the penalty.
Yeah.
His race is done. Oh, jeez. Yeah, wow. Alex Palou won't want to come in, but Chip Ganassi might have to do something on that front wing for sure.
I don't think it's going to survive. It's got bad, in the last 4-5 laps?
We're lap 57. I don't think...
And he's still got another nearly 30 to go.
McLaughlin has dropped Dixon a bit to a gap of a second. I don't think McLaughlin's creating a big enough gap here quick enough. Because we know those green tyres drop, and they have been. I know they don't get much tyre degradation when they are under caution, but still, we've seen them drop, and they've been on that, for about...
Lundgaard's reeling Palou in. Less than a second between them. Palou's obviously going to be struggling through all these corners because he ain't going to be getting optimum downforce through the front wing.
He's going to be struggling. And also, like we said, he has got to be the one who's on fuel saving as well. He's probably going to have another pit stop at this stage.
Well, he should survive with the 2 cautions on fuel. It's just whether that front wing will survive on the car. It's just resting. It's just resting on the track. Every bump is getting worse.
It is the leaning front wing of Alex Palou. Yeah, that is massively affected performance. Dixon is staying right there. I think Dixon's probably playing this smart in terms of he realizes he's not going to overtake McLaughlin here. This is a stint where he's got to be close enough that he can hopefully win this in pit row and challenge in that last one. But yeah, McLaughlin had a couple of extra laps on Scott Dixon since... No. Dixon didn't he have a couple of extra laps on Scott McLaughlin. McLaughlin did pit ahead of him, didn't he? Really interesting strategy of the game, this one. Really interesting. I do not know how this one is going to go. Where do you feel? I think maybe your early shout of Christian Lundgaard is probably looking...
If he clears Palou, it's Christian's race to lose.
Yeah.
And that's a jinx.
That is a jinx.
But for somehow, from starting 15th from the grid, Palou is kind of leading this race right now.
Geez, with all these cautions, I just think in fuel saving that Lundgaard's going to get him.
Yeah. 5
with a
laps
combination of
difference.
Fuel saving and that front wing, surely it's going to be Lundgaard. And also now he's got this traffic in front. And Palou's really going to struggle to clear the back markers and traffic with that front wing as well.
Impossible.
Which is going to leave kind of massive opportunities there. And this actually, if Lundgaard can't clear Palou fast here, and I don't think Palou's going to be able to clear these 2 quickly, you know who this is playing into the hands of? Scott McLaughlin and Scott Dixon.
You say that, but they ain't extending the gap. In fact, the gap's coming down between the front 2 and Palou, and in turn Lundgaard.
So Rinus VK has come in on the pit stops. Is there an issue there with Rinus VK?
Did he get a penalty?
I don't know. It must have been a penalty.
What did Rinus do?
Yeah. Anyone know what Rinus VK did to get a penalty there? But yeah, interesting. Well, they've still got to clear the McLaren of Alexander Rossi, who surprisingly, with 2 cautions after, hasn't managed to find a way back onto the lead lap.
Yeah.
And he was only a lap down to begin with. We are coming into the last 25 laps here in Toronto. It is shaping up for an exciting finale. And that man, Alex Palou, he is sensational this year in IndyCar. Again, looks like he will be challenging and fighting for the race win today. But not only did he have a poor qualifying to try and kind of get his head around, He had extreme pace in this car, but his front wing is damaged. Christian Lundgaard, pole sitter from yesterday. Was it a fluke in terms of just taking advantage of the conditions in qualifying yesterday? No, he has been fast and he has been brilliant all race in that 45 Rahal Lettman-Lanigan car. But this is a big test for the 21-year-old. Can he find his way? He's having a look. He's having a look. He's having a look. There will be an opportunity, but he has got to nail it. He's got to nail it at exactly the right time here with Alex Palou. There will be opportunities for it. He's got to be patient here because a gap will open with Alex Palou. And if he just keeps staying how he is, looks after his tyres, looks after his fuel, he will have that advantage. Scott McLaughlin is in the pits. McLaughlin pits. So that has definitely not been enough, but it does mean that he can go for a 24 lap, just basically flat out. But where is he going to be? Bang, bang. That is too much work to do. Look at that. That is gone.
Yeah, it was a mistake not to pit under caution.
It was a gamble.
A green flag pit stop was always going to hurt big time, and they never extended that gap. Never extended it. Even with traffic in front of Palou and Lundgaard.
Oh, and here he is, Lundgaard side by side, championship leader, Palou. Palou's going to fight hard here. He's not going to give this up easy because he knows if he gets past, he's not going to get it back. But Lundgaard's ahead. Brilliant. Brilliant from Christian Lundgaard. Brilliant. It is a fantastic livery as well. You're bang on right. Now, though, Herta, Awards, can they find a way past Alex Palou? They'll certainly be fancying their chances.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Palou.
Dixon now comes into the pits. As we're saying, he and Scott McLaughlin really mucked up the strategy. But it has to be said, Alex Palou, you know, his championship rivals, this was a big opportunity to capitalise. That that was an issue. It was an issue, not a great pit stop. Issue on the back right tyre there for the PNC Bank number 9 car.
Shocking strategy from two top teams.
But he has got out ahead of Scott McLaughlin. So it couldn't have been that bad a pit stop. So my calls on bad pit stops today have been as bad as
That's what I thought
the pit stops were. Absolutely. Whoa, beans on toast. AM, sensational.
Will Power on the inside of Palou. Will Power's on the charge. He's got to do something. He's got to get ahead of Palou. So is Pato, really.
Everyone needs to get ahead of Palou. That's the simple fact. They cannot afford, if anyone is going to rein in Alex Palou in this championship, they need to finish every race for the remainder of the season ahead of Alex Palou. But in the form he's in, that's incredibly difficult.
This is a win for Palou. Christian is a championship contender. They've
Huge win.
Too much of a season.
Huge win.
To be in a championship fight. He is in the leading position with all his title contenders. And if that front wing somehow survives, scraping along the streets of Toronto, he's in a decent position because all these guys are squabbling.
I'll tell you what, Pato is struggling. Pato is struggling because he's now got Marcus Ericsson that's going on there. We've now got replays on Christian Lundgaard. Great move. Slipstreamed. Brilliant. Brave. On the outside. Went bold, went bold, went bold. Held tough, held tough. So he got the... stayed around the outside, but knew he was going to get the inside on that kind of like S-shaped corner. Fantastic driving from Christian Lundgaard. And again, it is a chicane.
Kind of.
Ish. But yeah, what I've got to say is it's wheel-to-wheel racing and IndyCar again, and it's fantastic. So Marcus Ericsson, he looked like he was going to make a move on Pato Ward. It now looks like he has to look in his rear mirrors because Joseph Newgarden is closing in. And yeah, you were talking about it's a win for Palou if he manages to survive and Christian Lundgaard is the one who wins this race. Well, I'll tell you who he shouldn't fight too hard if he gets close to him, Colton Herta, because that's also a win for him. Not in championship contention for sure. So I would say to fighting for Power and O'Ward because those are realistically the only guys who can bring it in. And if I was saying it would be Will Power that I would fight tooth and nail to do because Will Power obviously winner of last season's championship. Incredibly difficult for him to do, but he has probably looked the best driver outside of Alex Palou since the Indy 500.
Colton ain't closing. Did Colton appear at the same time as Palou? Was he one of those first stoppers?
Yes. Yes, he
so
did.
That's probably why Herta's not going to get a charge. It's going to be all on Will Power, basically.
Will Power needs to get past Colton Herta. He needs to get past him quick because we are within 20 laps of this race in Toronto. Lap 66 of 85. Christian Lundgaard, your pole sitter, leads this race and looks favourite to claim his first victory within the NTT IndyCar Series. Alex Palou, your championship leader, your leader who has been dominating IndyCar for the past 5 races. Well, you could say he's been, very strong in IndyCar from there, but it has been complete domination pretty much from Alex Palou. It's, bar a collision with Rinus VeeKay in the pits, we could be talking about him as an Indy 500 winner this year as well. But he is in P2 after qualifying in P14. Alex Palou maximizes the performances, and even if he's not going to win this race, he is fighting tooth and nail to finish as high as he can in this race. Colton Herta is in P3. Will Power, P4, who will be the closest championship contender to Alex Palou after this race as things stand. Pato O'Ward, P5. Marcus Ericsson, keep on calling Christian. From there, that man's a Danish. This man's a Swede. Is in P6. Joseph Newgarden in P7. Marcus Armstrong done well to recover, I'd say, being in P8 after struggling on that first stint with the greens falling away quite a bit, just doing his good job to kind of stay out of trouble. Felix Rosenqvist, probably his best race performance for a while, running in P9 currently. Canapino, fantastic performance from the Argentinian rookie. Usually it's Callum Ilott that we're expecting to see in those top performances, but Canapino is doing a fantastic job as it currently stands.
I will go ahead of McLaughlin.
Yeah, Malukas is 11, 12, Rahal Dixon. I don't know how Ilott get ahead of McLaughlin, but McLaughlin's clearly struggling. But
he was right on the back of Dixon, wasn't he, when Dixon came out?
Dixon McLaughlin gambled on strategy, and that strategy has not worked.
Shocker.
If it's green until the end, doesn't everyone need to pit again?
No.
If they do,
Palou's on the edge and Herta's on the edge, but most other people are safe.
I would say Lundgaard, Power, Award, Ericsson, Newgarden are all safe. But if they aren't safe, because it was tough, if they aren't safe, then Scott Dixon wins this race.
Yes.
But I just can't see them not being safe.
Especially if we get a late caution. Which I'm not sure actually where it's going to come from, because it's quite spaced out.
A Danish driver has never won an IndyCar race.
Here we go.
Until today,
Let's keep
maybe.
The jinxes going.
If it's... there we go. It's going to be interesting. Will these pit windows have to go? We are coming in 16 laps to go here in Toronto. Christian Lundgaard has stormed out in front. Got a 5-second lead on Palou. It is literally his race to lose at this stage. I don't really want to put a jinx on him, but I'm really just wanting to praise what a fantastic weekend it has been from Christian Lundgaard and what a fantastic driver he is. He's doing brilliantly with Rahal Letman Lanigan, but as we suspect, there's going to be a vacant seat at Chip Ganassi in that number 10 Alex Palou. Christian Lundgaard, he would be a fantastic one to fit in if Chip Ganassi can wrangle him away from Rahal Letman Lanigan. You've got Graham Rahal now trying to get past. Scott Dixon needs to clear this traffic ahead of him. It is Rahal, Malukas and Canapino. He has the tire advantage. He has the fuel advantage. There is no fuel saving needed for Scott Dixon, but he needs to make progress quickly, especially as Lundgaard looks to extend his lead. If there is the case that there is needed to be a last pit stop, although we don't think so for Lundgaard, Power, Award, Ericsson and Newgarden, then, Dixon needs to make moves. because he's already 16 seconds behind Lundgaard. To jinx it even more, Lundgaard has to shave the mustache if he wins.
He does.
Do you see any more Formula 2 drivers looking at IndyCar for next season? Yes, because the seats in F1 aren't opening up. And, you know, you've got Marcus Armstrong doing well out here, Christian Lundgaard, Callum Ilott. They're coming over and they're loving racing. This is what they're used to. You know, Formula 2 is a spec series. So coming to IndyCar, this is what they're used to. You know, they're used to being in cars that are similar capabilities. Yes, you still have the bigger teams within the series who have an advantage still over the smaller teams in terms of budget, mainly in the dampener area for that. But I do foresee kind of a train going, especially if the road to Indy, there isn't necessarily someone shouting down the name. Linus Lundqvist. Linus Lundqvist is the one who's most likely to do that. But yeah, they've got to continue that talent coming through. I can't see a Jamie Chadwick coming in to IndyCar next season, even to kind of be as a female driver. She hasn't really set Indy NXT alight.
Nope, not indeed. Joseph Newgarden, where is he? P7? This pack, after that explosive restart, has kind of just chilled out. They're all like, you know what, guys, let's just survive the last 20 laps. It's got very chill. There's about a couple of seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds between everyone. Yes, Plo and Herta are on the edge of fuel, but I think with that double caution, probably have enough to survive.
Okay, interesting one here, just to kind of interrupt you. Malukas has just pitted, and I'm pretty sure he pitted at the same time as Plo. So if that is anything to go by, Plo will need to pit again.
Not necessarily.
I would say
we don't
as
know.
Good as what Alex Palou is on fuel strategy,
Malukas is still in the pits.
He's not 13.
Is that a car problem?
Potentially.
I can't see that being a legitimate pit stop.
Yeah, because Graham Rahal is out there. Dixon
if
did manage to get past Rahal, though.
Palou would be pitting around lap 80. That's where you would be pitting.
Dixon's now working his way through the field. If he gets past Canapino, that moves himself back into the top 10. And then it will be a charge to try and get past Rosenqvist. If he can get onto the back of Rosenqvist, that Pat will go for there. Yeah, it is an issue with Malukas' car. Stephen is right. So, not a fuel-saving strategy or a fuel-affected strategy.
We're going to have wall contact. Boop.
There you go. That's what does it.
Anyone else? Oh, that was Malukas.
So he skews there. Rahal kind of gets stuck there, which opens the door for Scott Dixon to take advantage of both.
There we go. Double move for the Kiwi, Scott Dixon. Too much work to do. Terrible strategy. Shocking.
It is, because people aren't going to have to pit. And is that Joseph Newgarden or Pato Ward? Pato Ward is dropping. So Ericsson also got past Pato Ward. I was right in there because I'm pretty sure it was Newgarden behind with Ericsson behind him.
Yeah. Pato's struggling on this last set of black primaries as Marcus Ericsson's going to line up and move.
Marcus Armstrong.
Marcus Armstrong.
We're getting our Marcuses and Christians and everything mixed up today.
As Palou's front wing continues to scrape on the streets of Toronto, but somehow survives, maybe by resting on the street, it's stabilizing it a little bit over all the bumps. I don't know. If Palou, if he finishes second with a smashed up front wing and an aggressive fuel-saving strategy, I don't know.
Is this the championship? Is this the championship today?
Quite possibly.
Because on a day where realistically all of his championship rivals, however far-stretched were, should have finished ahead of him in this race, as it currently stands, all his championship rivals are finishing behind him. O'Ward is only going one place, which is backwards rather than forwards. Dixon is coming, but he's had a terrible strategy that's leaving too much to do unless people in front of him have to pit. And with 10 laps to go, that's looking less and less likely. Will Power is the only one who stands a chance.
But look, Newgarden is the closest challenger for Palou.
Is he really?
Power's not even in the top 5.
Surely that's not.
Check stats.
Check stats.
Have NTT Indycar Series stat guys lied to us?
They liars.
It said it was like Newgarden.
Yeah, you're right. It is Newgarden.
I didn't claim the stats.
Yeah,
so
Will Power is 151 points behind. So wow, it's massively like beneficial to Alex Palou for him to win. Marcus Ericsson is still thereabouts. So I guess Marcus Ericsson is a big one trying to gain. Oh, that front wing has got worse. That front wing has got worse. That is going to have to pit. That is going to have to pit. Surely that's got worse.
I think it has got worse.
That looks like worse to me.
It's been scraping along the road for a long time.
I know, but that looks worse.
It's worse.
That does look worse. Yorkshire pudding. Thank you, AM.
He's still going.
Strong. Armstrong is looking good today. If Palou makes it to the checkered, it will be his best effort.
Yorkshire pudding.
Sensational. Sensational.
I love it. I really.
Like, honestly, I don't know how Palou is keeping this car on the racetrack.
Yeah, especially with all the bumps. There's a really bumpy track. You think if there's going to be a track that's going to send your front wing flying, it's going to be Toronto. It's going to be on the list. And yet, the wing survives. Actually, that is proper crooked. I think that has actually got worse. I think I agree with you now.
It is 8
I
laps
didn't realise
to
the
go.
nose cone had literally dislodged from its position.
8 laps to go.
That's dodgy.
8 laps to go. 9 laps to go, sorry. 9 laps to go. This is huge.
This is risky because if that wing pops off, blows out the race. Whereas if he pits, what comes out top 15?
Wow.
I guess if he's out of the race, he's only going to finish 19th.
Yeah. I think he's completed enough laps to kind of get minimum of 5 points. But yeah, that big time looks issues. I think, like we're saying, the livery is fantastic. Is it a Gatorade livery for Christian Lundgaard? But the livery is fantastic. The performance has been fantastic. The weekend has been fantastic. Christian Lundgaard does look a future star of IndyCar for sure. Like Alex Palou has come, was impressive in this series. Christian Lundgaard with Rahal Lanigan. And considering how much this team has had struggles this year, Indy 500, they struggled to qualify. Lundgaard was the first one to guarantee his place within the kind of greatest spectacle in racing in the month of May. The best performances this year have come from Christian Lundgaard. He's already got 1 pole position. He got a 2nd pole position yesterday, and it looks like he is going to get his first race win in IndyCar. It's incredible. Really incredible driving from Christian Lundgaard, and I'm really excited to see what his future is in this series. And again, we have such an exciting pool of talent within this series.
Yeah, it is beautiful. He was doing a nice little interview. I think it was before Toronto, before even, have we got a fight here? Scotty Mack on Graham?
Yeah, looks like it's Scotty Mack on Graham. Scotty Mack was kind of in the championship fight. Like a race win would have seriously done it for him. And he was the closest competitor for Lundgaard. And yeah, the Kiwis risky strategy. Oh, he's going to go risky on there. We said any overtakes on this track under green flags have got to have an element of risk to it. But I guess he's made that look quite easy, actually, in the end.
But yeah, Lundgaard was saying before he was glad to get away from the political European racing scene. And he's just enjoying racing in IndyCar. So he's clearly here for the long run.
Well, look, IndyCar is a racer's series. If you love racing in its purest form, that is IndyCar. You know, the machinery in F1 is fantastic. What they're kind of doing in Formula E is something. But IndyCar is a well-oiled machine now. It's a formula that works season out, and usually let's go for that. Okay, here he goes. Here goes Colton. We're now seeing Alex Palou drop off. Okay, he's going to fight hard here. He's going to fight hard,
Yes.
but he's made it stick. Colton's going to have another chance. He's going to lean out of there. He's going to go for it. Jeez, he's got to make that move stick. Palou is fighting tooth and nail there.
Palou's going to go in both.
Palou is in danger here now of really dropping off. Like we said, this is now that window with 6 laps to go. This is roughly where those others should be feeling the fuel advantage. Obviously, the front wing is playing it because Colton Herta should be feeling that pain as well. But yeah, Alex Palou is desperately hanging on to this. Desperately hanging on.
Jeez. As we get the aerial shot, Power, surely he's got to make the move on Herta because Herta doesn't look like he's got enough on Palou after that failed overtake on the previous lap. Neither Palou or Herta can use their push to pass, you would think, with the fuel saving. Because even though they have bucket loads available, it uses extra fuel.
Again, so has a look. Fuel saving. Has a look, but can't find a way past. Palou survives another lap. But does Herta survive another lap?
No. This all brings Ericsson into it as well.
This is a thrilling end to the race here in Toronto. It may not be a thrilling race for lead, as again, we seem to have had a driver who has just checked out. But for those positions, for the championship, huge connotations here. Palou's got to be so careful with that front wing. Any slight mistake could see him out of this race, and a great damage limitation race. You know, even if he finishes 5th here, it's not the end of the world because the gaps between positions is about 2 points. So you're looking at someone like Will Power gaining a maximum 2-4 points. And when he's 151 points behind in the championship, that's not really going to make a big enough dent of where it needs to be. But if Alex Palou crashes or really drops off,
Will Power's failed attempts has brought Ericsson into the fight for Will Power, which all has the knock-on effect that no one's going to touch Palou. He's only got, 3.5 laps to survive? The fighting that has been created behind him by Palou's slow pace has helped defend his position. Madness.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Palou, Herta, they gambled. They pitted. And, you know, bar obviously the front wing damage that Alex Palou has suffered here.
Oh, that's an end plate. Is that an end plate? I feel like something went off in that
whoa, that's something big time. That is, I feel like every time I see Alex Palou's wing, I feel like it's getting worse. But 3 laps, he is hanging on. He has found an extra little bit of pace here. I've no idea. Yeah, you feel the wing is about to fall off any second. You're absolutely right, Jason. Great to see you in chat there. Palou is the master of understeer. Honestly, he's the master of everything. If he finishes P2 here today, 3 laps to go. This is unbelievable.
I'm shocked. I am shocked right now. Was that a bit more of the plate? I feel like I'm seeing things now. Jeez.
I cannot.
You think though, if the front wing goes, that's it. That's going to be a big off.
What you are viewing in IndyCar this year from Alex Palou, I don't know how to describe it. Like we're saying, the championship could be wrapped up so soon.
Look, it's ripping. It's nearly ripped through. But it's only 2 laps. See?
It's dangerous. I mean, realistically, is it a black flag? Because if that goes under the car, it can cause a major incident here.
It could, but if they haven't black and white flagged it already, They're
Can
not
they
going
do
to
it
do it
now?
now. They're
Exactly.
not going to do it
Sorry,
now.
is that Scott Dixon has suddenly come up to 7th? Sorry, just coming into this fight, Scott Dixon has all the freshest tyres of this. How far can Scott Dixon come up with this with 2 laps to go?
He's only got a lap to do it, as Lundgaard is going to come across the line. The white flag will be out.
Out of gas. Who's out of gas? Who is out of gas?
Herta. Herta's gone.
Herta's out of gas. Herta's out of gas. Is Palou out of gas?
Ericsson? Power and Ericsson have run out of fuel.
Run out of fuel. They pushed hard. Wait,
Lundgaard? I guess he's been able to fuel save.
Alex Palou still is out. He's managed to do it. P2. He's closest.
Whoa!
What's happened?
Is Lundgaard going to survive? Is Lundgaard surviving? The gap's not shrinking. I think Lundgaard's safe. He's just going to have to roll. He'll be able to roll at this point, right? Jeez. The fuel drama. How have Palou and Herta extended more than Power and Ericsson? That's shocking from the two there.
That is really shocking. And that's Honda versus no, because Ericsson's Honda. I was going to say that's Honda versus Chevy.
Palou takes the checkered flag.
Palou doesn't, but Christian Lundgaard does.
I mean Lundgaard. Yeah.
Lundgaard wins. His best mate who he made a deal with. He's so happy with him. He's been reduced to tears. He's won. Alex Palou. His second. Somehow, Alex Palou has finished P2 here.
Dixon P4.
Dixon is
McLaughlin
P4.
P6.
They just left too much to do. Dixon and... Oh, wow. Who would have thought?
Christian Lundgaard.
Who would have thought? Unbelievable. What a drive. What a weekend from Christian Lundgaard. That's incredible. They're going to shave. They're going to shave, lads. They're going to shave. I suppose Bobby was doing the math on fuel for Dixon today. Absolutely. I mean, geez, it was... You may as well sign up Palou to Red Bull right now. I mean, that is one of the most incredible performances I've seen. And Palou has won 4 out of the last 5 races.
That front wing was ripping off his car.
I have no idea how he has not put that in the wall.
I feel like another 5 laps and that front wing fully goes off.
A mustache is gone tonight.
2.
So glad it's not the big 3. Yeah, it is good to see, a race winner outside of a Andretti, Ganassi or Penske. It is brilliant to see that. Christian Lundgaard, he's a star of the future, but Alex Palou.
That is our fuel. We went far enough.
Newgarden's out of fuel.
Well, they're just going to be cars scattered all over the place. But Christian Lundgaard's going to make it back. The man who didn't need to fuel save.
He just was the quickest man all weekend.
Pace, yeah.
Quickest man all weekend. Give the guy a razor. Welsh cow. Oh, interesting one, Am. Interesting one. I haven't heard of that one. So your UK knowledge is better than someone who lives in the UK for sure.
He went Welsh on us. That's unfair.
It is unfair. It is truly unfair. Wow. What can I say? Christian Lundgaard is a race winner in IndyCar. I think you're seeing a star of the future there for sure. We've said strong performances. He's got pole positions before. He got his second pole position in the series this weekend, but he delivered in the race. And there were strategies that could have worked against him, but he kept his head. He delivered quick laps. It was so important for him, actually, that he got past Palou early.
Yeah, for sure.
It was so important. And, he was so impressive today. And it's hard. It's hard to say this should all be Christian Lundgaard. And the majority of it is. But for me, is that the championship done? Has Alex Palou just won the championship today?
I think so. You could have said that for any of the last couple races.
But I think today,
this is a real hammer blow
start
for
in
everyone.
P14, damaged front wing. The only thing that has stopped him winning this race is probably a damaged front wing.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Because Lundgaard has a lot of pace.
Lundgaard was lightning quick. Absolutely. Absolutely. But wow. Doubleheader next weekend. Absolutely, guys. We'll look to see you there from there. What a turnaround for RLL. Fantastic. Absolutely. That is the season that they've been having to get a race win, 2 pole positions. Incredible. But
crazy.
Look, it seems really great that they're investing a lot of money in this team. We've said it before. They have the resources. They have the backing to compete with the big boys in this series. And they have a driver in Christian Lundgaard. But he's got a taste for victory now. They're going to have to keep delivering race cars like that. Otherwise, that taste is going to be looking elsewhere in the paddock. Go from there. Is that Jack Harvey coming to congratulate and good to see between teammates? Congratulating there. Yeah, wow. Christian Lundgaard. What a performance. Even when Palou is unlucky, he's lucky. Palou is smooth and flawless, a deserving double champion. I think it is. Guys, I think we've got to start talking him as a double champion. The talented drivers in this series, every year, this series has gone to the last race as a championship decider. And I cannot see us going to the last race as the championship decider here. I cannot. I think, like we said, I think Palou's won it. I think the last 6 races, so he's won 5 out of the last 7, is it? Or 4 out of the last 6.
Something crazy like that.
And he's finished P2 in the other one. And where did he finish in the Indy 500? Because he finished right up there in the end, didn't he? Like P4. Yeah. Like, I don't think he's finished outside the top 5 in the last 6 races.
It's nuts. As Lundgaard and best friend unite over their dream of getting rid of their facial hair. The Tashas can finally be gone.
You are looking on screen at your first ever Danish winner.
Yeah.
In IndyCar. Christian Lundgaard. What a guy. What a guy, eh? What a guy. Guys.
That race had it all.
What a race. That was brilliant. Sorry we were delayed at the start, but hey, it was well worth it. It was well worth it. Only 21. I know. Look out. Great talent. Post-match coverage, we'll probably start talking about the championship clinching permutations for Alex Palou. And yeah, so they should, because, man, they're going to talk to him now. Alex Palou, man. Alex Palou.
You just going to stare at his face.
Alex Palou. I'm lost for words. I've run out of superlatives to describe this man's driving this year. Like we said, his first season, it was a surprise that he won the championship. This will be no surprise if he wins this second championship, and F1 beckons for him. F1 beckons, surely.
Whichever team will pick him up.
Outside of Max Verstappen, this guy's the best single-seater racer in the world right now.
Bold claim.
I'm calling it.
Bold claim.
I'm calling it. Outside of Max Verstappen, this guy is the second best single-seater racer in the world right now. Not like, obviously you've got the Lewis Hamilton and Alonso's ability-wise is still right up there. But what he is doing on form right now, the guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And we should be grateful for as long as we have him in this series. I mean, maybe he could win a few less races. That would be great. But, hey, I can't knock it. The guy's incredible. Seeing thoughts on the race?
I said it had it all. I really enjoyed it. Confused by the strategic blunders of drivers and teams with Chip Ganassi and Penske, both. With Dixon and McLaughlin pitting under green. And you had Power and Ericsson running out of fuel. I'm baffled. You had a stunning drive by Christian Lundgaard and the absolutely unbelievable turnaround in Rahal and Lanigan. You had Palou. Yeah, Palou survives. I think there is a bit of luck with that front wing.
Yeah, it could have fallen off at any time.
I don't know how that stays on.
But do you go down the strategy of you make your own luck?
Still drove it, yeah. Well, they were committed. They couldn't stop. It was a bold commitment because it was, if it didn't work, you were in the wall. But, Lundgaard, Graham, stop making me look bad.
Go team. Go team.
Yeah, it was a beautiful race.
This is IndyCar history. You are witnessing IndyCar history. First ever Danish driver. That is IndyCar history right there. And got to say, he's a great guy and he's a great character for the sport as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you put him in the top drive, dangerous as well. Really dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah, but guys, unless there is anything more in chat, I think that is this stream for today. We're going to be obviously 2 streams for you next weekend as we got the double header in Iowa. Can't wait to be back on oval races. That lead now for Alex Palou is 117 points after 10 of 17 races. Scott Dixon, if he can win the championship, has to finish ahead of Alex Palou in every single race.
It may not be enough though.
And it still may not be enough. It's still, because if Dixon wins every race and Palou comes second in every race, that's 70 points. He still wins the championship.
Yeah.
I cannot remember a guy having this much. Well, I know Scott Dixon had an early one and it kind of faltered and faded away, but I just don't see him loosening his grip on it. But yeah, guys, unbelievable. Great job by Graham. Dead last to P9. Yeah, great stuff as well. Still 7 more races. Points don't look too terrible. Still anyone's championship if Palou decides to mess up the next 7 races. It's true, Big C Burger, but on his form, I just don't go from there. See you guys next week.
This was a race he could mess up, though.
Yeah.
Smashed into a wall, started P14, and still after all that, he's P2.
Yeah.
He's P2. Yeah.
Crazy. Right, guys. It has been amazing, as always. You're fantastic in chat. Thanks for joining us. Everyone, get some corn next week. Absolutely, Jason.
Of course, we missed our sponsor.
For Iowa, we have to get Hy-Vee corn. Absolutely. Corn, double corn for next week. But if they're new around here or haven't done so already, what can they do, Stephen?
They can like, subscribe, and ding that bell.
Ding it. So for now, you IndyCar fans, keep racing.